Hello, my fellow Snarkatarian. What's up? Thanks for coming by and spending some time with me. It's Jess, by the way. My Turby twist is on, so that means that we're going to be doing stuff to my face today. It's been a little while since we've done anything like that. I'm actually going to do a foundation review on the PUR 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation. This just came out about a week ago on the 19th of April. So I snagged one. I, of course, got the wrong color because I'm notoriously terrible for picking out my foundation online. Even though I initially followed the instructions, I'm always light neutral, and we'll get into that in just a second. It has 100 shades. It ranges from the palest of pale to the darkest of dark, which is very cool. I know a lot of companies have been striving for that, but this one knocked it out of the ballpark as far as the shade range goes. Ulta, initially when they started selling this, I think only had like 20 or 22 shades. People got up in arms, and now when I looked this morning, about a week later, they had about 40 shades. I don't know who's to blame for that. Is it the distributor from PUR saying it doesn't make sense for us to send all these colors out? We're just going to look at your main demographic and send what we feel is, going to do the best job? Or is it Ulta saying, we have this amount of space. If you want us to sell the rest of your things, we only have this much space. Send us this amount of stuff in different shade ranges. So I don't know. I don't know if go to the PUR website if you want to be very specific as far as your foundation shade. I think that's the best way to go, because they also have like a tutorial as to how to decide what your shade is. Try to match your shade. They have options to go by certain foundations that you already use that work well for you. I tried that. I put 2 in and neither of those showed up. So I just had to go by what I know. There's also a tutorial. It tells you how to start if you're light, if you're fair, if you're neutral, warm, cool toned, and it's pretty thorough, I think, if you don't already know. Despite that, I still got the wrong shade because I'm an idiot. What is so groundbreaking about this particular foundation? It says it is I think it's time for some coffee. Sometimes it's the only answer. Redefine complexion perfection with the PUR's groundbreaking longwear foundation and concealer. It's the 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer. It is formulated to instantly mask blemishes and imperfections, leaving behind a natural skin-like finish, which is good. I like natural skin. I don't like matte finishes. I like dewier stuff, but not like oil slicky kind of things. Right now, what I'm kind of gravitating towards and what I really like is the natural matte. It's more like just kind of what it says here. It's almost like a satin finish. It says this multi-purpose complexion miracle. Are we able to say that yet? That's cocky. That's cocky, PUR. It serves as both a foundation and a concealer with a unique dual applicator component for quick and easy application. The bottle is really kind of cool. Not the bottle itself, but the way that they kind of put this together. It's a pretty good idea. Kudos to that. Conceals blemishes, dark spots, and imperfections with a targeted doe foot applicator, or achieve flawless all-over coverage with the pump. Packed with skin-loving ingredients, this longwear formula helps protect skin against the environmental stressors like pollution, high energy, visible blue light. Now, I have enough stress in my life anyway that does not come from the environment. It's kind of. All right. So it's supposed to give you a healthier looking complexion overall. So some of the key ingredients and benefits. There's an energy complex of a combination of ginseng, green tea, and vitamin B that's supposed to help boost the skin's natural metabolism. Does skin have metabolism? I don't want it to be better than mine, and mine isn't that great to begin with. But how does skin have metabolism? I don't understand. But okay, we'll go with it for now. And rejuvenate the skin's appearance. Sure. Lingonberry extract helps protect skin against abuse caused by high energy visible blue light. I'll get into that in just a second. Polysaccharide film provides a protective, breathable film on the skin to help shield skin from environmental stressors, again, like pollution. And a keratin complex helps smooth skin and refine skin texture and tone. It's cruelty-free, what? It's cruelty-free, vegan-friendly, and gluten-free. So if you feel like you want to take a little lick of it, go right ahead. I don't know that much about blue light. I know there's a lot of stuff on the internet right now regarding glasses and how blue light is really kind of helps degenerate your vision, has kind of a link, I guess, to macular degeneration and helps speed up that process. The more we look at our phones and our computers and, you know, whatever, the environmental stressors, other environmental stressors that we have to deal with. How blue light affects skin. It says long-term exposure to concentrated blue light energy can cause skin damage, which includes color changes, inflammation, weakening of the skin surface. Blue light promotes stressors. There's stress everywhere. My God, I can't get rid of it. Promotes stressors in skin that cause photoaging, that is aging from exposure to light. So not only do you have to worry about UV rays, discoloration, you know, making the skin look more wrinkled than it should be at this age, but now you have to worry about blue light from our phones, from our computers, from the environment. Apparently, we're killing ourselves and our skin slowly. And as you know, our skin is our largest organ in the body. It protects us. It's our first range of defense for bacteria and microorganisms. And I don't know. Now we're getting into science stuff, and it's too early for that. I decided to go. This is the color MN3, which is light, medium, neutral. Now, again, like I said, it's on the dark side. It's a little too dark for me. It'll probably be a very nice match probably in July or August once I'm out in the sun in the summertime. So I probably had the correct one in my basket initially and then went with this. Why do you ask? Well, let me tell you. I figure when there's a range of shades that is much more minuscule, you know, I feel like I have an easier time to pick. Or a harder time to pick. I don't know. That there aren't that many shade ranges that I just got to pick with the one that looks the best. So this one has so many that I figured there's so many more in the fair and pale and light end that I'm probably closer to the medium side of things. So I'm going to go with a lighter medium. That didn't work. That didn't work. It's not bad. Like I said, it's not that bad. I just tried to do like a little swatch on my cheek this morning, and it's a little dark. The unique thing about this, the packaging, is, as it says, there is a pump here, and then if you unscrew it, there is a doe foot applicator. And there must be like a little hole in here that, you know, sucks the product up into the pump. It's pretty genius. It's a very good idea. However, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to conceal my under eye with the same color as the same shade as my foundation. Usually I try to go a little bit lighter. So I don't know. But as far as like spot concealing and stuff during the day, you know, it makes sense. Again, I don't know if I would actually carry this whole bottle around with me, you know, to spot conceal. But I don't know, to each their own. What I'll do with like any makeup review here, I'm going to do half of my face with my brush and half with my sponge, and we'll see how it goes. So I have my palette. I actually remember my palette this time. I'm going to put a pump or two. Oh, it says 1 pump for lighter coverage and 2 to 3 pumps for fuller coverage. Now it says to apply directly onto a foundation brush and blend evenly into the skin, which I'm going to do how I want to do it because that's worked out for me so far. Oh, okay. We'll do about that much here. It's a pretty thick formula. It's not running anywhere. So I'm going to start with the brush and brush on this side. Actually, looking at it now, it's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. So maybe my logic was, I was onto something. It's still probably a little dark. And of course, I think it's a lot easier to go with have a lighter foundation and then add your bronzers and things like that to kind of darken it up than the other way around. I might as well just put the rest of this on my face. So guys, I've given in. Matt and I have given in to Game of Thrones finally, it's only taken 8 seasons for us to realize, well, maybe we should get into this. Maybe this is something we might like. And it is. You were right. Okay, so I'm going to start with this on this side of my face. We'll just do the brush. There's no fragrance that I can tell, that I note. This does sell for, I believe, $36. Well, this is a little dark. The coverage is pretty nice. Wow. You can see it's probably a good shade deeper than what I should have gotten. Coverage is looking really nice. I'm liking it so far. If you're new to my channel, my skin is combination dry. I have a lot of dry patches right here on my chin, especially over here, and then kind of in between my eyebrows. So that's where if I have any caking or, collection of makeup, which is what caking is anyway, that's where I'm going to find it. So I'm going to use the sponge on the other side before this dries down. I'm not sure what the dry down time is, but I do want to get this kind of blended in before it dries down. It is just a tad more matte on the matte side than what I'm used to as far as like a natural skin look. There is a little bit of a satin sheen to it. It's almost kind of reminds me of the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear that they came out with earlier this year. Kind of that same amount of matte to dewiness, which I like. It's new for me. I tend to go for the dewier kinds of things. I feel like I'm getting fuller coverage on the brush side, which in my case, I don't need full coverage. I need a little bit more on the medium to light side, and I feel like it actually isn't as bad a shade as I thought it was going to be. The sponge side, I like the look of it a little better. I don't feel like it looks as cakey or as thick. I feel like it looks not cakey, just like a little heavier right here on this side than on this side. But the coverage is really nice. Like I said, I didn't notice any kind of fragrance. I don't see any kind of streaking on either side. I just feel like the side with the sponge, moistened sponge, gives a little bit more of a natural look than the brush side. Brush side probably gives a little bit more coverage, but it looks less heavy on the side with the sponge. I'm going to go up and throw the rest of my makeup on and see how it looks with that. I'll come down and do a little bit of natural light so we can see what it looks like there. And I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I have the rest of my makeup on, and it's been settling in a little bit more, getting accustomed to my face and the warmth of my face and adjusting. And it's a heavier foundation than something that I'm used to. Like I said, I'm okay with lighter coverage. I don't need a lot of coverage. It looks airbrushed, really, at this point. There is, I can tell there's some cakiness, where I normally get some dryness here and a little bit of collection in the chin, and not so much in the forehead area, but kind of mostly around the chin and kind of around here. So it does look a little heavier than foundations that I generally gravitate to, but overall I think it looks pretty nice right now. It seems to work really well with the rest of my makeup. I will link everything I used on my face down below in the description box. If you are interested to see what I used, you can go there. And it's not quite as dark as I thought it would be, even when I put on the contour and my bronzer, which was the new PUR bronzer that just came out. Well, not just came out, it's been out for a little while, but this one that smells like chocolate. Like I said, I feel airbrushed, I also feel a little heavier. I don't think it feels heavier, but I feel it looks a little heavier than what I'm used to. So a little cakier. I think it might actually be nice in the summertime. Again, once my skin gets a little darker, once I get slightly oilier skin, I think it'll actually work really nicely in the summertime. This is what it looks like in natural lighting. I think it doesn't quite look as cakey. Still has a little bit of a sheen to it, considering it's like a natural skin look. I will check in then at the end of the day and see how it went overall, and I will see you then. All right, hello again. So this is my final check-in. It's about 8:15, 20 after 8 in the evening. I put this on around 10 o'clock this morning. From a distance, like when I first go by a mirror and take a glance at it, I think it looks pretty good. When I get a little closer, it got really cakey here. It got really cakey here, and it actually started to rub away from my nose and kind of cake up, especially since I've had my glasses on. So I think if I mix it with something that's a little bit more moisturizing, it might work out pretty nicely. I might have to play around with it. I'm not a fan of full coverage. I don't need full coverage. I'm better with like a medium coverage foundation, but I did want to try it because I thought the bottle was so interesting and the concept of it was really cool. I don't hate it. It doesn't wear that well for me. And you know, this is always a problem area, so it's hard to find a foundation, especially a full coverage foundation that doesn't cake up around my chin. But it's not just my chin, it's like up here and up around here. So didn't have to brave too many elements today. It wasn't like, it was really windy yesterday. It wasn't too windy today. It wasn't out in the rain or anything. Although honestly, I did cry a little bit because we finished watching the first season of Game of Thrones finally. Somebody said, this is right up your alley. I can't believe you're not watching it. I'm like, well, I'm not a fantasy kind of girl. I'm not really a fan of Lord of the Rings or anything like that. But you know what? Throw a dragon in it and you got my attention. So I'm into it. Season 1, what a fantastic ending. It was awesome. Problem is, when you don't watch something but it's been around so long and people talk about it, you hear things anyway, and it's like, well, I'm not going to watch it, so what do I care? Well, I knew the whole Ned Stark thing was going to come, and I was still a little sad about it when it did. No. Anyway, that's where I stand with Game of Thrones. Thumbs up, Game of Thrones. Ready to start the second season now. This one, you know, it's not my favorite, but like I said, if you like a full coverage foundation and you have more oilier skin, this might just be right up your alley. I'll play around with it for a little bit and see if I can come up with a foundation concoction that would work better for my chin. But for now, I'm a little meh about it. I said from a distance, it actually looks pretty good. But close up, you know, I know what my problem spots are, and I just kind of focus on that. So if you like this sort of video, please give this a thumbs up. Again, I will list everything I used on my face in the description box. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hey, join the Snarkatarian family here. I upload usually on Saturdays around 10 o'clock, once a week at the moment. Follow me on Instagram at the Pesky Snarkatarian, and I will see you in my next video. I don't know what's going on here. What's going on here? Oh my God. This could be on Game of Thrones. One of Daenerys's dragons.